Okay. I think we're live. We've seem to have gone live. I'm possibly the only one watching at the moment, so we'll just hopefully see some more people rock up very shortly. Let's see, we've still got just me at the moment, but we're coming up to 8 o'clock shortly, so that's when we're going to go live. We'll see. We'll see. Right, still only one viewing, so we'll just start to crack on. Get a bit of paint on some figures. That sounds like a plan. Right. I'll try my best to keep an eye. It's still just me at the moment, so we'll mind you, it has only just turned 8 o'clock, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If nothing else, I'm going to get some painting done, which is the aim of the game. I won't start talking about what I've got yet, what I'm painting yet, just because we'll wait for others to arrive. I believe there were definitely some people who said they were going to be here tonight, so we'll just give them a few minutes. Get back in the swing of things, realizing that it's a Wednesday. So, yeah, sure we'll see people shortly. Aha, we have somebody, and it is Steve. Happy New Year, and good evening to you as well. You are the first to join us tonight, so thank you for that. Really pleased to have you with us as always, and hope you are well. And I think Johann's due to join us this evening, so we'll just give him a few minutes. I'm sure he'll be here. And then I'll give you a quick lowdown as to what I've got planned for this evening. Hopefully, Steve, you've got a few bits on the table, maybe, for this evening's time. What do you win? Well, I haven't got a prize yet, but there's no reason to suggest that we can't find one. So, other than being obviously the ultimate fan, but no, I'm sure we can find a prize that says the first viewer of 2026, which I think is a very big award and title to hold. Lovely. Right. Now I've just finished his trousers. We'll just pause there for a second. Right. How many? We've got 3. I wonder if one of them is Johann, one of them's Steve, one of them's me, and we will see how that's. I'm glad that'll do, Steve, because I haven't got anything else. Bless you, or bless me. Who knows? Fantastic. Right. Lovely to have people joining us this evening. So, what have we got on the table tonight, I hear you ask? Well, let me just bring them forward a bit. You probably can't see because it's a top-down view, but basically, let me close this paint before I spill it. Basically, I've got, so what Steve got? Painting French Old Guard and War of the Roses Lancastrians. Fantastic. I'm diving into sort of, I'm going to say early 20th century tonight with some civilians. I've got, well, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them in total, 3 on this particular base here. I can't remember, I think these are Foundry, Wargames Foundry figures. And mostly civilians. In fact, actually, these two might not be. These might be, trying to think who makes these. These are Futsal miniatures, picked up a while ago, and this one might be as well, actually. But certainly this one and this one and these 3, they are all Foundry, Wargames Foundry. And the idea is that I'm going to paint them up as civilians, obviously, and they are going to go onto the table for some Peaky Blinders fun. Now, little secret I'm going to let you in on, because obviously this is the live stream, and we've always got to have a little bit of insider knowledge so that you guys keep coming back for more. But my thought was that not only would these guys be really good for Peaky Blinders, but they'd also really they probably fit in with a sort of 1938, a very British Civil War, which, if you're asking to blame anybody, it is definitely Johann's fault for encouraging me. He's started some very British Civil War stuff, and I've got some other figures which I thought would be brilliant, and these guys I think will double up nicely. In fact, quite a few of my Peaky Blinders figures I think will also double up, but we'll get to that probably months down the road. But I've really started this plan to try to post more on my social medias and across all of them, not just Facebook, and also just to try and paint things. So over Christmas, I managed to get my cavalry painted, and I also got some more figures for Beyond the Gates of Antares painted, which I'm really enjoying. So it was quite nice to get them finished, having just thought I'll put them on the table, and after a couple of sessions I'd got them painted. Then I thought, what should I do next? I haven't got any more 6mm to paint at the moment. I've got to order that in, but I thought, what about if I just find stuff that I've primed up previously but not painted and just start chipping away at it? So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so enough of me rabbiting on. I'm going to start get some more paint on these figures because I'm really quite liking the way we're going. Snake bite leather, possibly a bit too. No, I think that's a bit too. Or could I be doing that on his apron? Or do I go for a bit of a white apron? I don't know. This is a tricky question. I look to my trusty community. So this guy he's got a like a cart. I'll get it. Actually get it out of my paint table. So it's this cart here. I think it fits in sort of the Victorian period. But he's got his cart that I'll try not to break the wheels on, that he sells food on, and I've got these. I've got 3 of these with different things. So this one's got some carrots and other bits and pieces, but essentially they sit on the top, and he sells them on the market. And I thought that'd be brilliant. So I need to know, really, do I do this guy with a sort of a tan kind of almost a leathery snakebite leather color, or do I paint it more as a white? Do I go for an off-white? So difficult. There's something satisfying about restarting projects. The Lancastrians haven't been touched for 18 months. 100% agree, Steve. Well, your Lancastrians and my civilians alike, I think. So no, that's really encouraging. Really good to get some bits back on the table and just get them finished. I think that's really important. So I've got these guys to paint. I need to get on with them. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what to go with some of the colours. I guess I'm going to go earthy colours, browns, maybe black. Go for the Arkwright look. That's what I was thinking, Steve. In which case, I'm thinking it needs to be a sort of a tan colour, or maybe even this snakebite leather kind of. Unfortunately, because I've got my phone is my camera, I can't look up what Arkwright looks like. But I'm thinking it's like a. It's not a white, is it? I think it's. In fact, let me just open another tab on my laptop. And we'll just go for Arkwright. And I guess we're talking Arkwright from Open All Hours. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's see. Quick picture up here. Yeah, I could work with that. Now, was Arkwright the one? Was that David Jason's character, or was that the other? Was it Ronnie Barker or David Jason's character? That's the question. So let's go back to see. Ronnie Barker. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You need a mini of a delivery boy with a pipe. Yes. Yeah. That would be good, Steve. Right. Okay. So yeah, let's go for the snakebite leather then. On we can always give him a bit of a sort of a whiter shirt, off-white shirt if needs be. But I think you're right on this kind of apron. We'll give him a snakebite leather look. I think that's ideal. And I sort of thought to myself this morning when I was thinking, what do I need? What am I going to paint tonight? I thought, let's go for the civilians. I can use the contrast paints, and hopefully that will just speed up the process of getting these painted. So that's what we're aiming for tonight. Get them painted. Lovely. Well, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and an enjoyable New Year. I was with the family playing lots of board games, which was a lot of fun, including Worms, a board game from Mantic, which was a lot of fun to play. I got picked on because I think my wife and my sister weren't 100% sure they wanted to play. I think the problem was because it was a new game, we were sort of still learning the rules, and that obviously can be frustrating for some. They didn't really have the patience to sort of sit and learn. But there we go. That is what it is. And then we did 3 days in Manchester, so that was rather nice. 3 days last week. So yeah, back at work this week properly, back in the office and all that. So yeah, you have to go back to reality at some point, I guess. Now, I don't know whether we're light on the ground tonight. We've got 3 watching, so that's good. We might just be light just because it's the first one back and it's January and people might not have been sure whether it was on or not. But that's all right. Not a problem. And if you are here, thank you very much for your support. It saves me sitting here talking to myself like a plonker. Now, one of the other bits of news that I want to share tonight to obviously those people who have turned up, who get to hear because they've turned up, is that I'm planning a bit of a new series on the channel, starting in a couple of weeks' time. And the aim of it is to do a video, sort of a bit of an update on what I've been up to in the hobby for the month. And I've felt very inspired watching Ken Riley, who is the Yorkshire gamer, watching his monthly updates. And I really like the way that he stylized it, that it was, there was a lot of sort of Yorkshire northerner feel to it. And I really like that. Now, I'm not a northerner, as much as that would be fun. I'm not, although I've got family from up north. But what I thought was could I take something that I really enjoy and use that as a bit of a theme for a monthly update? And I've done monthly updates before, but they've never really taken off. I've spoken to people who go, "Oh yeah, absolutely love them," and yet they've never really got many views on the channel. So I'm giving it another go. I've got quite a fun format, which I'm really hoping people will enjoy. And obviously, you can let me know whether you enjoy it by doing the old like, subscribe, all that, comments, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's coming up. The first one I think is going to air on the 28th. So not this coming Sunday, because that is the cavalry painting tutorial, but it'll be the following Sunday, if I've got that correct. Oh, good evening, Robert. Happy New Year to you. It's going well. We've got some sort of civilians on the table, sort of early 20th century, which I'm going to be using for Peaky Blinders and possibly some very British Civil War in the future. So that's what we're up to tonight. Let's take a non-contrast paint for a moment. Oh, can't get the lid off this one. That's not good. This is one of my browns that I really like. There we go. We've got into it. Yeah, it could well be paint in the grooves of the lid. Never mind. All right. Robert, how was your Christmas and New Year? Did you get lots of nice things from Santa? In fact, Steve, I probably should have asked you that question, whether you got any nice bits from Santa. I didn't get a lot of wargaming bits. I sort of got some bits prior to Christmas, which I sort of asked the wife to wrap up, but they weren't specifically for it. Was just timing. So I got Battle Group Italy, which is their latest supplement out. I can't remember what else. Oh, I tell a lie. I got a new what do you call it? Turntable, and this one is plug it into the mains, and it's automatic. So I know more me turning the table to showcase figures. So hopefully you would have seen that in. Did I use it in the US Cavalry review video? I can't remember now. It was a while ago since I filmed that. I'm actually probably 2 or 3 weeks ahead on filming. So where sort of in 2025, I was sort of filming the week's video that week. I actually managed to get quite a few done over the Christmas period, and so I'm now ahead, which is a very unusual situation to be in, and it also is very odd because when I actually film things, I need to try to think ahead about what I need to say that on that specific time. So it is all a bit difficult, but there we go. It's all part of it, part of the fun. Cool. Right. Let's go to the comments. Robert says, very quiet one. It was great and no wargaming bits. Quiet is sometimes very good. And Steve says, Aliens board game expansion and a box of Landnecks. Oh, rubbish it. pronouncing how they are, but I think that is pretty cool. So yeah, nice one, Steve. And I'm sure you'll have it painted in no time, knowing you. Yeah, I need to put an order into Bacchus really, and I was supposed to do that a couple of days ago, and I haven't done it yet. So I need to probably jump on after the live stream and put an order in, because if they take as long as they have taken in the past, then they're not going to be here before the end of January. But we'll wait and see, because Bacchus might be back on it now. We shall see. Lovely, right? These are coming on all right. Enjoying them, which is the main thing. Lovely. Yeah, I think he looks all right. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So that's 3 partially painted. Only another 5 to go. Let's see what else we've got painting wise to do here. What can we do? We'll give him a brown shade. No, I think we need some sort of. Oh, we could do a bit of a grey, couldn't we, on some of these chaps? Yeah, in fact, actually, let's do a bit of brown on one of these guys. So one of these thugs. Let's go for brown trousers on this guy. Seems like a sensible plan. And then I think what we'll do, I don't know whether we go for a brown jacket on his colleague. We've obviously bought a suit together and shared the pieces out. Or I could actually, I might come in with some contrast paints for some of these guys as well. I assume that sort of more earth colours were tended to be more readily available and therefore cheaper. So it would have been more common, but unfortunately not. Historian of fashion, I couldn't really tell you, but feels about right. They don't give me the look I'm going for, so we'll go with it. I quite like the pack of figures that I got on this one. So you basically got these 2 guys carrying this body, and then you also get a body which has clearly been stabbed because he's got a knife coming out of his back, and he's floating in the water, which I thought was quite amusing. So they will make some good objectives for a game. Try and get to the body to the canal before the police turn up or catch them. I think that's funny. Lovely. But we did watch a good good series. I think it was on Netflix over Christmas, called Department Q. Really quite good. Steve says, did a Bacchus order a couple of weeks ago. The last of the models needed for my first Crusade project. Brilliant. Oh, have you received them yet, Steve? That's probably my next question. Just to see how long they're taking. No, it's usually a month. Okay. Cool. So I'll probably be expecting to get them closer to February or sometime in February. So yeah, no, that's fair enough. They're quite busy, aren't they? Quite popular. Get a lot of orders, so that's good. Right, let's see what else we've got here. Brown trousers, brown coat. Probably use a bit of a grey as well, I think. So let's put some grey trousers, and we'll put. I think the guy that's being carried away, I think he can have a grey jacket. dark grey, I think. There we go. So, oh, apologies, get my hand in the way there. Right, I'll go grey trousers on this guy. Probably put sort of a black wash over this just to darken it up a bit. I think that's a good start. Can't see it too much over the sort of the primer, because the primer is grey as well, but it is showing up. I think once we get a, as I say, get a black wash on there, that'll work a treat. See if I can get the front without making a bunch of it. Right, lovely. Right, let's just get on some of that leg. It's quite tricky because there's this other guy in the way, but there we go. We'll get around him. Cool, happy with that. Get the back here. Lovely, lovely jubbly. Lovely. Brilliant. Yeah, I'm liking that. That looks all right. We'll put a bit of some grey on his jacket, on this guy's jacket, as he's being carried off. I've obviously seen him off. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe he was just the wrong person, and they got him as instructed by whoever is paying their bills. Absolutely, they've got him. Yeah, I think once this dries, I'll put a wash on it. That should just help it along a bit there. Quite tricky, really. It's like, not only is it tricky to get the paintbrush in there, it's quite tricky to see what you're doing. Yeah, well, we'll try our best. Back down the club tomorrow night for another playtest of my Battle of Pelennor Fields game, so that should be good. I'm looking forward to that. And after, I mean, last week's game went very well. I think this week, just that little extra just to give me that confidence. And then not this Saturday, but I think the following Saturday we have the Lardy Games Day itself. So it should be exciting. I will be getting a video out following that. I think the following Sunday, not the one directly after the Games Day. So yeah, that should be good. Let's go back to the comments. Steve's got, in other news, I've signed up for an ECW game at the end of March. Armies can be provided, but you know, it would be rude not to paint up a new project. Yeah, I don't disagree. What scale is that? Because I have to say, ECW is always a tempting one. I don't know whether I'd go 6 mil or whether I'd go 10, 15. Epic scale is also tempting. Yeah, a few different options out there, isn't there? 28 mil. Well, why not, Steve? If you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Absolutely brilliant. Wondering about a dark blue, using the Luftwaffe uniform to do one of their coats, maybe. Might be an option. Let's do a bit more contrast paint first. One of their jackets with the grey jacket can have a, yeah, that works well. Almost looks like that ID that they're using operating theatre, that sort of thing. Is that right, Dean? Well, I'm not sure. Obviously, I haven't watched enough Casualty to know the answer for that. But cool. Yeah, so I wonder where Johan has got to. Not seen him on yet, so we'll have to wait. And sorry, I've just realised that I'm clearly out of practice, and I have been holding the figure off table while painting him. So let me just get him back onto the camera. You can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so yes, I have been upping my game over the last week or so on my social media platforms. So that's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I think I managed to get a post out this morning. I think it was this morning, or maybe yesterday morning, which hit all three. In fact, no, it was this morning. But yeah, I managed to get all three platforms, which was fun. Pleased that I managed to do that. We'll see how well I can do keeping it going. But I was thinking I probably need to do more social media pushing in order to just to reach more people, get more traction for the channel. So yeah, keep giving it a good go. I have heard people talking about Blue Sky, but I think more as an option instead of Twitter, or what was Twitter now is X. Not, I have to say, I never really did Twitter, and X it wasn't something that really appealed. Has anybody gone for Blue Sky? Anybody sort of started along those lines and using that as a social media platform? Oh, I'm right on the edge of the camera again, sorry. Right, Robert says, we had a great game today with 28mm ACW and the Rebels won. My goodness. I'm sure they were pleased about that. No, fantastic. 28mm ACW. That's quite exciting. Was it quite a big table that you had for that? Lovely, right. This one's coming along all right there. Nice, like that. Right, I need to work out what I'm going to do for this other chat, but work out that in a minute. Steve's on Blue Sky. Alex and Ken are on there. Nice little community. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll look into it. Yeah, maybe I'll have a look at it. Yeah, obviously it's new to me. It's not something I've done before. So yeah, number 4 by 4 by 6. I think it's a small kitchen. Nice, nice. No, that sounds good. Cool. Right. Got these guys I haven't really touched yet. Got these guys. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them, but I may be a bit of a balloonist. Perbrone is there as well. Ah, yeah. I think Mark Backhouse is on there as well, which is where I've predominantly heard about it from. But yeah, I'd say I think my problem with Twitter was that it was tough to keep up with things because things moved quite quickly, and that wasn't really something that I was interested in or particularly good at keeping up with. Whereas Facebook, the post tended to stick around longer. Um, but yeah, I mean, if it's a way of getting more viewers to the channel, then it might be worth it. Um, as a possible outreach. Um, yeah, I have to have a think about that. Blue sky. I say I like a lot of the stuff Pear does. He's very good. If I remember correctly, he does a lot of 6mm. It's always exciting to see. Oh, we're getting there. I think this blue looks all right. Goes quite nicely with the brown. Get a wash on it, maybe some highlights, and I think it will be all right. If I can block in a lot of the colours tonight, I think that would be a good start. At least I feel like I'm in a position where I can then kind of finish it off with finish the figures off, on another day with some washes and some highlights. Good place to be. Right. Good evening. Wardrobe plays World War Two. Is that how you're pronouncing it? I'm considering getting back into 6mm World War Two. I need to go watch your 6mm Napoleonics. It's amazing how bad my eyes are for such a scale at this point. But the tables can look so good for so much less. Yeah, for so much less money, I will need to label the bases and figure a way to paint them with these eyes. Well, it sounds like a cracking idea. There's a lot of people out there, and I think Battle Scale, I forget what the business is called, but basically they do a lot of 6mm buildings, and they've just started a World War Two project in 6mm. I saw. Obviously, backers have got a range, and there's definitely others like Adler. Is it Adler does 6mm? But yeah, no, that sounds very exciting. And welcome to the live stream. I think this is possibly the first time we've seen you in the comments. So thank you for joining us and contributing to our little community. So I'm throwing my figures on the table in disgust. No, that's really, really cool. What I would say, and certainly for my Napoleonics, undercoating black and then doing a sort of more of a dotting kind of technique, putting dots of colours on, definitely worked well for my Napoleonics. You got the other thing you got to remember is with 6mm, because it's smaller, the colours have to be brighter. So when you think you're painting, or British battle dress, for example, you actually have to paint it sort of lighter than you would think to paint it, or you would paint a 28mm figure. So yeah, it can be a bit tricky, but I think it can look really good. And there's certainly rule sets out there that support 6mm World War Two. And definitely some good 6mm groups as well. So definitely go about getting getting on those groups, sort of Facebook, that sort of thing, because there'll be plenty of people out there who will be interested in what you're doing, or have done something similar before, who could offer some advice and support. I think we're winning here. We're winning. Yeah, happy with that. Happy days. Right. I'm liking that blue. That's worked really nicely, I think. Make sure I've got good coverage. Lovely. How about 10mm Pendragon World War II stuff is lovely. Yeah, agreed. Good evening, Richard, as well. Hey up, I'm just laying out some STLs for printing. Very nice. That is how you pronounce the name. Wardrobe plays World War II. Brilliant. Thank you for that. The live stream is a nice compliment to my work. 2:30 p.m. here in the middle of the US. Oh, fantastic. Which part in the middle are you? I used to live in Kansas myself. Spent 4 years there. Yeah, very curious. I know John Russell, who is based in Oklahoma City, and I know a lot of the stuff he's done in the hobby. So yeah, brilliant. It was a good group out there. Surprised that a black undercoat would allow colours to pop like that. I thought I would need to do a zenithal spray of white and dragon awesome. Yeah. So the black's really good because if you don't cover all of it up, you actually create shadow. So where the black creeps between the colors, you get shadow, you get depth, and that can actually make the figures pop a lot more. Not through the use of color in terms of the uniform colors, but more in terms of the shadow, and it creates sort of a 3D effect. So hopefully my painting guides will be of use. I've got my cavalry one coming out this coming Sunday, so if you're interested, check that one out. Right, why am I up to? I'm up to this guy who's been carrying his trousers dark brown and a grey jacket. That seems appropriate. Yeah. I was raised in Wichita, Kansas. I went to university in Lawrence, University of Kansas, and now live in St. Louis. Well, it's really interesting, such a small world. So I lived in Winfield, Kansas, which is an hour south of Wichita. Went to Wichita quite a bit. And my brother-in-law and my mother and father-in-law, they all live in St. Louis, although my in-laws, my father and mother-in-law live about an hour outside of St. Louis, but my brother-in-law lives in St. Louis and gone quite a few times. So perhaps next time I'm in St. Louis, I'll have to give you a shout and maybe we'll get a game. So yeah, no, that's really, really cool. Nice to have you with us on the live stream. In fact, I even started this channel in Winfield, Kansas. So yeah, it's definitely some ties to the Midwest, this channel. Right, let me get some more colours on so that I can get in a good place by the end of this live stream. That is the hope. Cool. I wasn't sure whether I might be too zoomed in tonight because I'm working with 28mm versus my 6mm, which is, of course, what I've been working on in my live streams most recently. But do let me know if it's about right or needs to be closer, further away, that good stuff. This is quite a hard model to paint. Just getting in all the nooks and crannies without catching other bits that I don't want to, and leaving other bits that I don't want to. So yeah, a bit tricky, but we'll get that. Oh, it's down again. My goodness. Anybody think I've been drinking? Lovely, right, I'll do that. That would be awesome. We have a great group of gamers here. That's fantastic. Didn't It's amazing from my perspective as a Brit, sort of seeing how gaming's done in the US. And when I lived in Winfield, there really wasn't a wargaming community. Wichita had a little bit of a community. Bolt Action was sort of picking up a little bit. But for me, that was an hour's drive, which obviously is not far for Americans, but yeah, it wasn't something that I really wanted to go do regularly, or had the time to do regularly. So yeah, it was a bit challenging, but I guess if you want to do something, you make it happen, and a lot of people out there did. So, but I think being in a big city in the US is definitely helpful when it comes to gaming. Small town America was not necessarily the best place for gaming. But saying that, I introduced some people in my town to gaming, and yeah. Right, let's try and get rid of that stain. Nope, that is just going to be there. Cool, right, that is that, and that. Need to do some boots and some flat caps. Which I might just do in a standard brown, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Right, I haven't touched these two guys yet. Need to do something with that. I've got to get those shirts done over there. So let's scooch those over and get some shirts done. Colours, linen, I think, will be a good one. Wardrobe plays World War II. You might be interested. So a lot of the paints that I use are these apple barrel ones. Not sure if you've come across them, but you can pick them up in Hobby Lobby. Pretty cheap, and they work really nice on the figures. Good little top tip. If you're in the UK, these are Doe Crafts Artiste. All-purpose acrylic paints. Again, really cheap. I picked them up at the range, and they work really well as well. So yeah, you don't have to go out and buy expensive GW or Vallejo or Army Painter paints. There are all sorts of paints out there that will work. And I use a lot of these for my Napoleonics, 6mm, for 28mm, for 20mm. Fun enough, paints work on all scales, no matter how big or small. Yeah, that's that. Lovely. Well, I have to say it was a quiet start to the night, but it has definitely picked up. So a thank you to everybody who's joined in and commented and been watching. We're up to now 5, I think. Wow, that's pretty good going. I haven't painted much in the last few years, but I did give speed paint a go, and it helped me to love painting. Do you thin the apple barrel at all? I don't thin any of my paints, mostly because I'm lazy, but I find that it doesn't need it, or at least I don't think it needs it. But yeah, speed paint's definitely. I'm enjoying the contrast paints, which I think are basically the same as speed paints. And yeah, agreed. It's not been necessarily my main love of the part of the hobby, painting, but these have definitely helped me enjoy it a lot more. And I probably do a lot more painting than I ever used to. But I think some of it is I feel like my painting has improved, and that only came about through practice. But when it improves and you get a better quality product at the end, I think it sort of can encourage you to do more, and the more you do, the better you get, and it can be a quite positive cycle, I think. Robert said, I have to get some when I go near one. Yeah, I take it that's paint. The nice thing for me with Hobby Lobby was the apple barrel stuff, but also they actually sell Vallejo paints, the one in Wichita, so it's always quite nice to go there and pick up some additional paints rather than having to order them and have them shipped over. Which back then, before all the tariffs and Brexit and all that, that was not too much of a problem. But now it's obviously it is a problem ordering stuff online. So yeah, bit of a difficult situation, and I think it's probably hurt the wargaming industry or customers maybe buying things from American companies more maybe than the traditional British ones. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like it's been a good thing. Right, how are we getting on? We've got about 10-11 minutes left, so we're going to try our best here to get these shirts done. As I say, I'm using an off-white. This one's called linen, which felt appropriate for sort of the shirts that they would have been wearing. Maybe they would have been a bit more wool, I don't know, but the colour feels right, so that's what we're going with. And for those who may have missed at the beginning, so these are a combination of figures. So I've got some here that are foundry, like this one that I'm painting now, and the couple of them are futsal miniatures, some of their older figures, which I really like. And these are going to be civilians for Peaky Blinders, using the Chicago Way rules. And I'm also, possibly later this year, going to look to do some games of A Very British Civil War, which is a game that I've wanted to play for years and years and years, put some armies together. But I'll be doing stuff on the channel which introduce you to who the characters are, the forces, because I've set it in my hometown of Gosport and sort of written some characters and the groups and all that good stuff, which is a lot of the enjoyment for me for A Very British Civil War. So set in 1938. So possibly something to look forward to on the channel. Right, I think that's that shirt done. I just need to do his trousers, to be fair. So I might come back to him in just a minute. Don't time fly when you're having fun? Indeed, Robert. It's definitely always the case on a Wednesday night. This hour goes much quicker than most of my hours at work, but I suppose that's a good sign. It means we're having fun. Yeah, we are definitely getting there. So I think these figures will probably be maybe a session or two more to go on them in terms of getting them all painted and finished. But my hope is that I get them finished so that I can put them in February's hobby update video, which for those who didn't catch towards the beginning of this live stream, I've got a new series coming for 2026, which will be airing. The first episode will be, I think it's the 28th of January, the last Sunday of January, and it's inspired by the Yorkshire Gamers monthly hobby update, but instead of using his sort of theme of a sort of a Northern Yorkshire kind of approach, I've gone for something that I'm quite passionate about, and that is sort of a football highlight show that we've got over here called Match of the Day. So the title of the series is called Batch of the Day, as in the batch of figures that you're painting, and I've got some guest stars on it, or some guests that will be appearing each week. Each month in the episode, and I've broken it up into a few different sections, and those will be regular segments each month. So hopefully, people will enjoy that little series, because I have had some feedback previously to say people enjoy the monthly update, the hobby update videos, but the views didn't suggest it previously, so we're going to try again and see how we get on. Let's see if there's more positive feedback for it. Right, we're getting there. That's that shirt done, and his trousers. Not too much more to do on that. I enjoy the North Yorkshire Gamer podcast. Yeah, Ken does a lot of really good stuff, and he's very knowledgeable. He's clearly been in the hobby for a while. So yeah, definitely a good one to watch if you haven't before. And Robert says, "Brilliant! I'm looking forward to seeing your new ones." Thank you for that, Robert. Hopefully, I filmed it Sunday and got it edited and uploaded onto the channel, so that's ready to go in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, we're getting there. We are. I think the channel is really. I'm feeling very positive about it, and there's new subscribers coming in every week, which is really encouraging. Yeah, it's starting to get momentum, which I'm pleased about. Right, let's see how we're doing. So we've got obviously there's some flesh to be done on all of these. I think I'm going to finish this guy's trousers, and then I think we're going to call it a night there, because I think we've done well so far. What sort of trousers do we want on Mr. Arkwright here? Do we go brown? Do we go dark? Bit of black? Black trousers? Not sure about black trousers, you know. Maybe we should do a poll. See if I can add a quick poll. Start a poll. We're going to go for. No, that's a lot of work. And I got 4 minutes, so we're not going to do a poll. Maybe you can just type in the chat if you think we should go for. I don't think black trousers would look good on this guy, but let's go for it. So we've got black. We're not going to do snakebite leather because we've already done that. So we dark brown, black, or dark blue. Or do we do and maybe a chocolate brown? So there you go, 4 choices: chocolate brown, dark blue, black, or dark brown. Steve's gone with dark blue. We've got dark blue from the Wardrobe Plays World War II. That's looking promising so far. Quite liking that. I think you're right, actually. Dark blue is the way to go. Choco is my second choice. Blue from Robert. Yeah, right. Okay, we're in. Let's go for blue. So Luftwaffe uniform 816 from Vallejo. Let's get a bit of that on the palette. Let's get this guy's trousers painted. Brilliant. Thank you very much to everybody for that. See, this is why the community is so good, helping me out there. I think a real example of the community helping is Minas Tirith. I mean, Steve and Johan between them pretty much made Minas Tirith. I didn't really do much. I was only sort of, using my hands because they weren't here to do it. But yeah, definitely, definitely helping a lot there. Yeah, I completely. I think Vallejo was definitely would be my first choice. of paint. I've not really tried Army Painter. I don't mind GW, to be quite honest, and their contrast paints are very, very good. I think at least some of them are. I want to try the Vallejo air colors out of the airbrush, and I need to actually want to. It's something I want to look into this year is getting a 3D printer, an FDM Bamboo Lab 3D printer, so that I can start printing some of this terrain for my Gates of Antares project. My friend said it would take loads of time to print the tiles for the table, so I don't know whether I'll just go for buildings or whether I'll go for tiles as well. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Cool. Right. Let's just finish this guy's trousers off. I will need to do boots and flesh and all that, and highlights and. Sorry, I should say, need to do washes and then highlights. That'll be all stuff to do over another session. Maybe next week's session. Maybe I'll do it over the weekend. Not sure yet. Obviously, I'm going to be filming another video, which will probably be a battle report for the second week of February, I think. Right, let me just finish off his apron because I noticed there's a bit showing out the back, and then we'll call this good, or at least for this session. But as usual, it's been absolutely fantastic having you guys join me for this live stream. So thank you very much to everyone for your support, comments, engagement. It all is massively helpful. Sunday I'll have my next video out, 6 p.m. UK time, and that'll be my 6mm cavalry painting guide. So do check that one out. And I will be back next Wednesday for another live stream where I will probably be working either more on these or my Gar. I've got 2 Gar figures that I started ages ago, here and here, and I want to finish these guys off. So these will feature either next week or I'll get these done at the weekend, and I will come back and do these civilians next week. Not sure, but we'll do something around that. Obviously, thank you to everyone for your support, and have a great rest of your week and a great weekend, and hopefully catch you next Wednesday. So thanks all, and take care.